Greetings and welcome to the Greatness Factor podcast, hosted by author, speaker, and property consultant Tinashe C. Mudanda. On this podcast, we'll be focusing on the ideas that can help you maximize and unlock the personal potential that is within to become the greatest version of yourself. So sit back and relax and enjoy our content as we delve into the Greatness Factor. Stay blessed.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Greatness Factor podcast. Today I am in Ganyo at number 12 Orit.
Yes.
Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, 12 Orit, and I have a professional image consultant and etiquette coach whose purpose is to enable and to engage every individual to help them discover their purpose, value, capabilities, and beauty. So personally, I just believe Kuti, on your image is very important as an individual. So today we have an image consultant, Joyce Shiri, from JS Happenings. How are you, Joyce?
I'm excellent. How are you, Tinashe? Thank you for coming to see us today.
No, I was so thrilled because I'm one person who believes in image, who believes in style, and I must say that I really admire your style as a person. I admire your style as a person. I think we spoke once, but from how I began to interact with you, I really then saw the style that you have as a brand, and I admire that a lot.
Thank you so much.
So we'll start. I'll just start with. Can you tell us a bit about your background and how you became an image consultant?
All right. It's quite interesting. Well, I thought the image background came through about 2013, but it was always instilled in me. It was in my blood.
Okay.
2 years ago, my grandfather passed me my reports from kindergarten. He was keeping them. Can you imagine?
From kindergarten?
Yes, from kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, grade 7, the whole high school. He had kept everything. So I went through them, and interestingly, from kindergarten, they always highlighted that she loves patterns, she loves colors, she loves pictures. The writing and the reading, not so much.
Too much.
Yeah,
not too much. Yeah.
Just enough to cross the line. But, my compliments were always on patterns. So I guess it was inborn. But professionally, I got my qualification in 2017.
Okay.
I had discovered image consulting in about 2013. I had been doing it before without knowing what it was. My initial background was hospitality.
Okay.
But within hospitality, I was more interested in fixing things, how people look, how I look. If somebody passed by, I always wanted to just, fix them up, straighten out the collar, all that stuff. I had always done that. So I remember there's this lovely lady. Her name is Her Excellency Kakena Nangula. She was ambassador to Zimbabwe from Namibia.
Okay.
So she picked it up that I had those trades. So she then asked me that I should buy her clothes, her things, and also every time she would go shopping, she would say, "Come with me, help me choose." And I started doing that, and she paid me for it. So when I started off doing it, it was more of like, okay, I love shopping, let's go shopping. I love fixing up the wardrobe, let's fix up the wardrobe. Then she paid me, and she said, if you do your research in the States, there are people that actually paid for this work. So that's when I did my research, found out about image consulting. I left hospitality, and since then I've pursued it.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. No, I'm really fascinated by the fact that it's you it's something that was in you. It was intrinsic, and then you managed to cultivate it into something that you now love doing.
Yes.
Because most of the time we tend to go for what works, but also we then automatically ignore the gifts that God gave us. So I'm liking that you discovered something that was in you. You were always a pattern person. You were always a person who wanted to fix things, who saw things. If anything was crooked, you wanted to straighten it up. So that's really something that I like about your story. So, like I said, in Inam, I got to learn about appearance. Funny now, in a funny way. I'm not an image consultant, but I do think the image is a very important thing. What's the importance of appearance in today's society, particularly in the business world?
Oh my goodness, it's the number one thing. It's actually the number one thing, the ultimate thing. Let me take you back to creation.
Okay.
Way back to creation. It all starts from creation. So, as human beings, we have a wiring in us for beauty. So this is why when the Spirit of the Lord saw that the world was ugly, He decided to fix it up, to put light, to add color and all. And I always say, the first image consultant was God Himself. When Adam was naked, He made the first leather collection.
Wow.
So it was always there. And taking from there, when kings were now introduced and priests, you will find that the Bible records that before they went to the people, God made sure they were bathed, they were groomed, they were dressed. Why? Because as human beings, whatever we relate with, it should appeal to the five senses. And the main sense, which is 55% of all image, is sight. If something looks good, you want it. Why is that so? So research has shown that a person is judged, especially in business, to answer your business side, that a person is judged within the first 15 seconds of an encounter.
Wow.
So the moment you walk through the door, in my head or whoever, they've started creating a perception of who they think you are because of the way you carry yourself, the way you are dressed, the way you are put together. And they are making that through the appeal. How are you appealing to their five senses? So in our heads, we've been groomed that an executive, a business executive, is supposed to look a certain way.
Okay.
So this is why you find somebody, they might not be an executive, but if they dress the part, when they walk into a certain place, they get different treatment.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not that, I've heard people saying, people are unfair, we are all human beings, we should be treated the same. Yes, it's true, but what is appealing to me? So when I see you, I'm attracted to something about you. I start creating a mental picture. I think this person must be the boss. Yes, they have the money. They should go to private banking. So even the way you speak to them. So the same way we judge people, they also judge us the same way. So your image always needs to be on point. So sometimes you miss opportunities because you just don't look the part.
Wow. I've always said, working, because I'm professionally I'm a real estate agent, but I also discovered, Kuti, as your appearance matters. It's the difference between your success or failure. You are dressed in a certain way and people just rub you off. So you saying that, and with your experience and how you have navigated the industry, it brings weight to that thinking that we always have to look on point. We always have to do our best to look presentable. Just to push you back a bit,
yes,
I was wondering, what's the story behind JS Happenings?
JS Happening. It's actually very interesting. So when I started off, when I decided to formalize the business and do all the registrations and all the legal stuff, I had to come up with a name. And I did my research. There were all these other names. But for me, image was not just about the outlook. Okay. It was much more. So if you read our vision, we say we are there to enable and engage people to discover, one, their value, their purpose, their capabilities and value.
Okay.
So it's a total package.
Okay.
So before the image journey, because like I said, I just used to like fixing things. Yes. At some point, I actually thought of calling the business the Fixer. It was actually on the list. Yes, it was actually on the list, the Fixer. Yeah, it was actually there. Then, because I also admired Olivia Pope. Yes, I also admired Olivia Pope, her dressing and all. So I actually decided to call it the Fixer, but then I thought, okay, it's not
original.
And it does not speak to what I'm envisioning. So one of my good friends, Privilege Makanga Nyuchi, I don't know, we were responding to something. Then she just said, yo, happening. And she started calling me happening. And then people just started calling me happening. Like, you just make things happen. Yeah, I was like, okay, let's make things happen. Right. So, but then I also wanted to personalize it and own it so that I can bring out the essence in me, that presence in me, to also give it to others and see their lives changing. So that's how we came up with JS. But JS is actually not my name. Okay. Yes, most people think it's my name. It's not my name. Where JS comes from, I love the Lord so much, and because He's our maker, He's my reference point for the way I live my lifestyle, because He's the manufacturer. He knows why He made me, so I always refer back. When I read the story of David and Jonathan, I was in awe. I really wanted to understand the character of Jonathan. That how he was apparent, he was next to the throne. But then you take this person from outside, make him your friend, and you start grooming him to take your place.
Wow.
Who does that?
Very few people.
It doesn't make sense. Who does that? So I found it very intriguing that, wow. So I felt like I was a Jonathan. Like I am there to help groom people, do the right things, because we do the grooming, the etiquette, the diplomacy, the protocol. We have all that encompassed in our classes. So I was like, okay, so I'm probably that Jonathan. And as an organization, even with my team, we are Jonathans to help the Davids, because I believe everyone is a David, is a king in your own domain, whatever it is that you do. But for you to succeed, even in business, you need a Jonathan to hold your hand, that mentor to show you what to do, how to dress, how to eat, how to behave when you get to that meeting. So that's the J. Then the S, I was also intrigued by the Queen of Sheba. In the book of 1 Kings 10. The Bible records that when she went to visit Solomon, he was the wisest man. And why I particularly loved Solomon, because he dressed well. Even the Bible says there was not one dressed like Solomon. So if you're an image consultant, you have to love Solomon. You have to take some notes from there. She said when she got there, when she saw the servants, not even Solomon, the servants, the way they dressed, the cups they drank in, she lost breath. She was in awe, like, oh my goodness, if they look like this, then the king, what's going on? So for me, it was, we are the Jonathan, and whoever we are going to work with, we want the people that are going to encounter them to have the Sheba experience. That when they see them, they're like, wow. I want to be connected to that person. I want to do business with that person. I want to relate with that person because they just look the part. So that's where it came from. Then the happening. If you encounter us, we will definitely make you happen. You'll be the happening. So that's where it came from.
What I love about what you just said is, especially the story of Jonathan. It actually shows that you have a serving mentality to your clients. You want your clients to to get to where they are going. I think that's where you were saying, could you also focus on shaping out the purpose of a person. So I really admire that. Could you have a serving mentality towards your clients? So I would want to know. You're welcome. So I would want to know, how do you work with clients to identify their personal style and overall image goals?
Okay, so what happens when clients come to us? Some have an idea of what they want, but I'll tell you this. Going to somebody and asking for help in grooming is not easy. Mm-hmm. It's not comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like you've opened up your dirty laundry. So the first thing that we do, we get time to learn about the client. So our first consultation is actually free, where we go through what we call an image quotient. So within the image quotient, we look at the three aspects of image, which we call the ABC of image: appearance, behavioral traits, and communication skills.
Okay.
Right. So there are boxes that they tick in. It's a rating. So they personally rate themselves. Then we look for somebody, they give us somebody that relates with them. And then we ask them that, where do you think, they need improvement and all. So that's where we start off. So as they're telling their story or their rating, and we also want to understand, why do you want this? Is it for an interview? Is it for career change? Is it just for personal development? Why is it that you need this? Then from there we are able to structure a makeover regime for them. So we start off with their appearance. From there we go through the behavioral traits. Then lastly, the communication. Why we go through these three stages? A lot of people have missed the idea of image. We've zeroed in on the appearance only, but a person is more than the appearance.
True.
The appearance, which is 55% of who you are, only unlocks the door. It will get you noticed. It will get people to wave at you.
Okay.
It will get people to stop and give you the ear. But now, how you carry yourself, how you relate with them, your etiquette skills, that's the B part, your behavioral traits, your non-verbal communication. So they might like what you're wearing, they might think that you smell good, you're well put together, but if your behavior is off, immediately they'll write you off. So the B part makes 38% of who you are.
The behavioral
traits.
Okay.
Yes, the B part of image, it's 38%. Then only 7% is the communication.
Wow.
Right. Where you say your name, or you say exactly what it is that you want or need, or you need to offer. So 93% has nothing to do with the choice of words. Anybody can say good words. Right now with AI, you can go on Google, download a very beautiful script. But life is about relationships, how you relate with other people. Are you appealing? So those relations are very, very important. So that's the aspect of image. We then look at that. Okay, where are you lacking? You might be well dressed, but can you relate? Why are you not getting business? You're well dressed, you look good. It's probably your etiquette skills, your business etiquette, or your dining etiquette skills. You're not getting dates. You're not going on a date. Why? You eat terrible. People think you're a great personality, but they don't want to invite you at their functions.
You eat like a pig.
You're going to embarrass them. So we have a holistic approach. We want a person that's fully made, that's fully happening. So that's what we walk through with them. Then our aim is to bring balance.
Okay.
So balance for us is very, very important. We work on balancing your personal, your social, and your professional life. unfortunately, most of the times we have concentrated on the professional life. I want to look good for work, but we forget that we relate outside work. I had an encounter when I was still working in the hospitality industry. So then I was in guest relations. So guest relations, you're always smiling, you're nice to people. And you're the best person. So one day I left the hotel. This is my free time. This is weekend. This man, I don't remember where I was. They greeted me and I ignored them because I was like, look, who are you? Then he said to me, oh, saka munongoti mborusa nekusekerera kana muri muhotera chete, right? I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. That's when I learned that, especially for business growth, if you're going to grow your business or your network, it's not in the office. It's everywhere.
Wow.
It's everywhere. It's even at a funeral.
Wow.
It's even at a funeral. In May, I was attending a funeral. Then you know how it is. Sometimes you just sit back, then you start talking. And I was talking to this gentleman. He was asking, what do you do? And I was explaining to them what we do. And he was looking for us. He found us at the funeral. So it's very important that whatever setting you are, you give your best. You have that balance. So if you are at home relaxing, look good, behave well. You don't know who's knocking at your door or at the gate. It might be the appointment you're trying to get with the CEO. Then he just happens to show up at your door. So always look on point. So we work on bringing balance in your personal, social, and professional life. And we make sure that the regime we take you through is congruent with all your goals, whatever it is that you want to do for your life.
Wow. Yeah. I'm actually realizing that the image there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to image.
Yes.
As you were saying, but there's the ABC of image consultancy.
Yes.
So you realize that you don't also only have to look good, but you also have to be the best version in terms of when you be outside the office or wherever you are, you should just be on point.
Yes.
So that demands a lot. So in your experience, can you please share a specific client success story that you are particularly proud of?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a very difficult question for me because they're all, people are different and they come all with different reasons. So I'm actually trying to zero in and see. I think for me, wow, can I say two?
It's okay.
Yeah, I think I'll say two because I don't know which one to pick. The first one for me, I'm going to mention their names. I hope they don't mind.
It's okay.
Rachel Chirisa.
Okay.
I felt, after we worked with her, I felt the piercing in my heart. I felt the transformation in my heart.
Wow.
Like I was in awe. Like, wow. She was a general hand.
Okay.
She was a general hand. So when she came through, it was through her church because she had been given a leadership position in church.
Wow.
And so she felt that she was not the rightful person as a general hand at a hospital. She does the cleaning the bathrooms and whatnot. So for her, really, it's something she couldn't do, take up a leadership position. And also her background, being raised in the rural home. So when she came, for me, it was showing up. Every lesson she would show up.
Okay.
Even though she felt she couldn't. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for her, now I don't know how to put it, the class she was in was with business executives.
Wow.
So the comparison, it's like two worlds apart.
Wow.
Like, I'm trying to, like, she's trying to just get to 5% of what the other lady has. That's the level she's just trying to get there. And you're in the same class. So for us, the way we work when everybody comes to class, you are all in class. You don't mind what the other person is doing. We have one-on-ones, then we have group classes. And one thing I always say, and all my students, I'm sure if they hear it, they're like, oh, there she goes again. I always tell them that if we were all cast in the same mold, there'll be no such thing as beauty. The fact that we are different, we have different professions, that makes us unique. Mm-hmm. So with Rachel, I saw the transformation, the confidence. She did the assignments, the confidence. There were things that seemed wayward for her, but I said we'll work on them at your level. And she went through and she succeeded.
Wow.
And she succeeded. And when I saw the smile on her face when we were done, and all our class is yet to graduate, we'll invite you for the graduation, and you'll see them. So for me, it was wow. The transformation was not only on the outlook, it was also inside, the confidence, being able to speak in front of a crowd, being able to command respect and give instructions. For me, just that power. When she was done, I was like, wow, woman. And then I said, look, you are more than that. What else do you want to do? Now she's pursuing her career in finance. Or I don't know if she was inspired by the leaders in class. So she decided, no, she wants to do accounting. I was like, go for it, girl. You can do it. So for me, that one touched me. And I think the second one, because they're all different, was a musician. I don't know if I should mention her. But yeah, she knows herself. she knows herself. She's okay, I want to say the name correctly. She used to correct me. She specializes in African music, African instruments, mbira, and the traditional African instruments. She's very good. She's very good. Actually, I'm going to mention her name. Yes, Tatenda Chioniso Rushwaya.
Okay.
People need to listen to her music.
Wow.
She's good. So the lady that brought her to me said, this woman has a great gift. She sings very well, but we need her to be seen. So when we started off, she was like, I don't do face polishing, which we call makeup. I don't do that. I don't do color. I'm not going to wear heels. I'm like, like, no. Like, I don't do that. I was like, no, fine, you don't do that. I'm not saying do that, but let's create a style for you. So, with most people in traditional music, they like the dull, subtle, invisible colors. So we've got what we call color analysis and image. You can see the drapes. And it so happened that she was a spring season. So her colors that she's supposed to wear are spring colors. So there are certain colors you should never wear in your entire life. We are not going to talk about that now.
Hopefully I'm not wearing this.
So when we did that, it was a shocker for her. And I said, let's try it. When we tried it, so now and again, I always send her a message and I'm saying, okay, I see you, girl. Is that you in yellow? Is that you in orange? Really? So this is how you dress now? And, we always laugh about it. I was like, you were saying never. Yeah, she was the current stone that never, I am not going to do this. Now she goes to gigs. I think she was performing in SA. She's performing on big platforms.
Wow.
And I sit there and I see her dress. I'm like, wow. Wow, your music is now out there and you're looking good, girl. So she was able to maintain her personality, who she really is, but also being able to go out there and evolve and meet the world. So for me, that was, it was a wow moment. You just sit back and you look at the pictures and you're like,
before and
nice,
after.
And we've got before and afters, and you're like, wow, this is nice. I think I need me to go through the program as well.
I don't know if you guys are listening to what Joyce is saying. Especially for me, the first success story is so touching because there's also a mindset shift. Imagine, Gudi, you are doing a job that that eats on your self-esteem, and then you then have to take a trajectory where you have to transition towards a different career that wants a different you. That's so powerful, because there's also a mindset shift, the way you see yourself, self-perception. This is amazing.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Yeah. While you're there, just to highlight, a lot of people have asked me that rather there's a notion that image consulting is for the rich and famous.
Okay.
No, it's for anybody and everybody that wants personal development, that wants personal change.
Okay.
And it's not as pricey as people think it is. It's a lot, and it's just more than the clothes. Like we said, it's more than the outside. It's about the person, you, the real you. Who are you?
Wow. You know, I actually come to think of it, I actually think you are a modern day kingmaker.
Oh yes, I like that. Jonathan, yes.
So, all right. I would like to know in that process, because I know it involves a lot, but there's certain clients where, for instance, style always changes. There are trends that come in, that go out. So how do you help your clients keep up with trends while as maintaining their personal style?
Okay, so with image, true and real image consultants don't do fashion. We don't do trends at all. We do style. Because style is true and it's timeless. Okay. We might take a few fashionable pieces and incorporate them in your style, but what we do is style. So the first thing that we do is we need to determine what we call your personality dress. Right. So people have different styles, right? So we call it personality dress. So that's the first thing that we determine. Because most people, let me give an example of a working class person. They dress a certain way because their job requires them to do that. Okay. The job says come in wearing a shirt and tie and pants or your skirt. Okay. But if we remove the job, who is the real Tinashe? Are you a suit guy?
Okay.
Or not? Or are you I don't want to get into the personalities. Okay, let me use myself. I'm a classic dramatic personality. So I'm that classic woman. I like wearing timeless pieces. You can throw me in 1935 and I will land there and fit in. Okay. But I've also have an element of drama within me, like, okay, what just happened today? That's my personality. So every time I dress, I have that style, those elements. So that is what we look at, that, okay, this person, what is their personality? Right. That's one. We have your personality dress. Now we then work on how do we make this personality fit into the different facets of your life. Let me use an example of the great Nelson Mandela. Okay. He was not a suit and tie person. He liked to be free to breathe, hence the Mandela shirt. Okay. It became signature. Okay. So in diplomacy, they've got a dress code, the formal dress on how you need to dress for all meetings or gatherings and all. But he had his own style that he had, and he decided to wear his nice silk Mandela shirt. Now it's a trend. Okay. And he looked good. He wore it very well, that even if he showed up at any meeting, you could not help but admire him. So that's a style. So he made sure, I don't know if he had an image consultant or not, but he made sure in every setting with his style, he would fit in to the style. Then when we do that, we work with your budget.
Okay.
Yes, we work with your budget. So this is what you like. You like jeans or you like suit. Okay, you can't afford a $500 suit. We can still get the same style, same fitting, but with something that meets your budget.
Okay.
If you want to take it up to 10,000, we'll still go with you to that level, but we make sure you look the part. Yes.
Wow. You know, I like how you said, Kuti, you also work with your client's budget, which brings me to the next question. Could you share some tips for individuals who are looking to update their professional image on a budget?
Okay, so the first thing they need to understand is sometimes it's not about going to buy the clothes. It's about knowing how to actually wear them and mix them up. We've got what we call a wardrobe capsule. The rule of a wardrobe capsule is 5 pieces of clothing should create a minimum of at least 15 outfits. So for 2 weeks, you'll be looking good from 5 pieces if you learn how to mix them well.
Okay.
Right. So the first thing that we take all our clients through is color analysis. I mentioned it briefly, that what colors, what season are you? Because there are certain colors you're not supposed to wear because they'll work against you. So when you wear the right colors, if you have the right colors, they are very easy to coordinate. So you'll have a fully functional and a maximum wardrobe. This is how you go from 5 to 15 plus, right? So that's the first thing. Then 2, it's dressing by feet.
Okay.
And this one is for the ladies. Sorry, ladies, I'm just going to attack you straight. Most ladies dress by size, which is wrong.
Okay.
Dress by feet. Size is just a generic guideline for manufacturers.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So when we dress our clients, we dress them by feet, which is according to their body line or what people call your body shape.
Okay.
Right. So for your body, what style, what type of clothing are you supposed to wear? So you can actually wear the same thing every day and you look good every day and people will not notice the difference. I'm trying to think of there's a movie, I'm trying to think which movie. The guy had the same things. I'm not sure, is it 50 Shades of Grey or what movie was it? The guy had like just the same thing. Yeah, the same thing. But every day he looked on
Good.
point. Yes, because he was dressing for the body. Then when you dress for your body, dress for the body you have now, not the one you're dreaming of having. No, dress for the one you have now, right now. So this is why sometimes we end up buying or we feel the pressure that we are not looking good because we have this image of somebody else that we are not. Then also when you dress according to your style, you always look good. You have your own version of who you are. So you're not in competition with anybody. You will then always look good because you're your own standard. So those are the tips I would give somebody on a budget. Then when you know the right things and shops. So all shops are not for you to walk into.
Okay.
Our shops are created with personality dress. So if you're a certain personality, there are certain shops you should not walk into because whatever it is they sell in there is not for you. Then when you find those that sell things that are for you, they also have different grades. So if you're starting off on a budget, you can start off on, depending, is it lower quality budget, it's okay. But if the color is right, the fit is right, the style is right, you will look good. Then you will upgrade as you go. So when I started, I've had when the students come and they see me and I tell them we've got a personal shopping practical lesson that we do when we go shopping. They're always like, no, but I don't have money, I don't have a budget. If we are going to a thrift shop or Kubero, we will find things. I've told people that I've got things from the thrift. They're like, no way, this can't be. But I've known my style, I've known my colors, I've known my size, and I've known how to put them together and mix up the pieces. Then you look good. And then I think the other point I would give is the accessories. How do you accessorize what you have? So you can have one item, like for right now I have this like cashmere sweater. I have it with a necklace on.
Okay.
Tomorrow I can remove the necklace, put a scarf on. I can remove the scarf, put a jacket on, but I'm still wearing the same sweater. So it's also about accessories. How do you accessorize? How do you mix them up? Then you find that you create a lot of looks and you're still on a budget. The good thing about accessories, they're usually not expensive.
Okay.
You know, there are a few pennies, a few dollars. Then you can always play around as well with the accessories. There are some tricks that I've taught my students, and they're like, "Oh, ma'am, now we know your tricks." You can use those tricks to zhuzh up your look. I'm thinking, should I give you one of the tricks?
No, maybe for interest, just one or half of it.
One or half of it. All right. Male shoes. Do you mind if I take off my shoes?
It's okay.
So I'm going to use my shoes. So, right. I told you I can be dramatic.
I like your
yes.
shoes, though.
Yes, I needed to do a bit of drama. So this is actually a male shoe. I bought it from the male section.
Okay.
So one way to change the style, so it had brown laces.
Okay.
Yes. So I then bought different colored laces. Then I just changed the shoelaces. So every time I actually had somebody that asked me that, how many pairs of these do you have? I was like, quite a few. But the truth is, it's just one shoe that I just change the laces. So it then looks different.
Okay.
Then I wear it with different pants and jeans, sometimes with the skirt or dress. So it gives a different look. So when somebody sees me, I just look all luxurious and zhuzhed up. Yes. So that's one trick. So if it's accessories like your watch, right? There are stockists now where you buy the hen, but you find that it has different straps. So you can have 3 or 4 different straps that you attach every time. So when you're going for a formal look, you can decide to put on a nice clean leather strap. When you're chilling with your friends, tone it down with a different look. You're wearing a different color, maybe go for brown or black. Those are some of the style tips.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. No, that's really interesting. I'm learning a lot. I'm also learning a lot. Guys, let me know what you think about these style tips that Joyce is giving us. Just comment, just place a comment in the comment section, and then we'll. You can also share yours,
yes,
so that
please.
people can also get to learn. So we've gotten to that segment where we ask our guests to share 3 ideas of greatness which you feel can help someone become a better version of themselves. These might be ideas that you have experienced in your industry. They might not be limited to your industry, but you have the flow.
Thank you. 3. Okay. The first one, which I recently learned and I adopted from a group that I'm on, the Worthy Book Club, is love yourself like your life depends on it.
Okay.
Yes, that's the first one to greatness. The moment you love yourself, you prioritize yourself, you do the best for you, definitely you will reach your greatness. The second one, it's having the understanding, like I said, this one I'll have to say it, because if I don't say it, then I'm not being me. That it's important that you know that if we were cast in the same mold, there'll be no such thing as beauty. We are different. Your uniqueness, your difference, the next person's difference is what makes the world beautiful. So that is very key in life. Know that you are different. So don't compare yourself with other people. The moment you see that I'm different, I have different skills, you will get to greatness. When I started off my image journey, I didn't have support because people didn't understand it, that who needs to be dressed? Why do you need to teach people how to bath? Who needs to be taught how to eat? People know how to eat. Everybody can eat. So why is this important? But I just had one person that believed in me, and they said, look, go for it. You can do it. And I'm here now. Then the third one is that life is about relationships.
Powerful.
We do not live in isolation. Whatever you do, even as you're pursuing your greatness, you are living your story and loving yourself. At the end of the day, we need to relate. So you need to value your relationships. They might not work today. You might think they don't work today, but you need them tomorrow, or you need them for the next generation. So always value relations, always value humanity.
Wow. Wow. No, that was awesome. Thank you for your 3 ideas. So where can people find you?
Okay. So we are located at number 12 Oret Road in Gun Hill, Harare. That's where we are. But we are also global.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can also come to you wherever you are around the globe. We've assisted people in South Africa, in India. We're working on somebody in the States right now. So we can come to you physically or online. Then online, our social medias, I think, all our social media handles are at JS Happening. At JS Happening or JSH Image.
Okay.
You'll definitely find us, or on our website www.jshappening.com, or people can call or text or WhatsApp on 071-122-872. That's where we are found. And yes, we start from the age of 4, by the way.
Oh yeah, I've seen your
Yes,
classes.
we start from kids. The Bible says train up
a child.
Yes, so we train up from the age of 4.
Wow. Yes. So yeah, guys, you can get in touch with Joyce on the through the information she provided. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
So till next time, guys. Stay blessed.